Looky here, it's the Pat and JT podcast.
Pat and JT podcast.
Thanks for downloading, subscribing, listening, everything in. Also, when you're online on Facebook, it's Pat and JT. Go over to Kugler Vision's page and just say thanks for supporting our podcast, which is helping us do what we want to do and keep our podcast going, and helps our company. It helps. It's a great. We love them, and just say thank you to them.
Absolutely, we enjoy working with them, and couldn't be happier, and it couldn't be easier to tell people about what they do.
Right.
Pat and I have both had the procedure done at Kugler Vision to correct our vision, and I wish I would have done it earlier. And you have these preconceived notions about what it's all about, and having this done, this kind of vision correction has been around for a long time, or some variation thereof, and they've made so many advances.
Yeah.
That it's not like it used to be, and even like it used to be was not bad. But they just keep improving, and they stay on the cutting edge of things. And honestly, Kugler Vision, the whole staff is just world class, and they I think more than anything, they want people to come in for that consultation, just for your own peace of mind that your eyes are healthy, and then know what your vision correction options are. Get rid of the glasses, get rid of the contacts.
Do it.
Everybody in our little office has. There's 3 of us.
Yeah.
And couldn't be happier. But if you want to find out more about it, the consultation is the way to go. It's no hard sell. They're simply going to take you through all the steps to give you a really good look, no pun intended, at the condition, what your eyes are doing right now. Our eyes change constantly as you age. Doesn't matter from like 25 or 30 on. We know it's all downhill after that anyway, right?
With everything. With everything.
But they can at least give you an idea of where you are, and help you make the next choice. Could be same day LASIK.
Yeah.
Which is really cool.
So Mark, just write down Pat and JT podcast in how you heard of Kugler Vision, either in other or check our little box next to our name.
Yeah.
However it's available, just make sure to say that.
KuglerVision.com consultation. You'll be on your way. First step.
Sweet.
Okay. So I was looking at Facebook and going through some of the comments on here, and I forgot to go back to this because we talked about, there were a couple of things. This is going to be kind of like a school, I guess, today, because we're learning what some phrases mean.
Okay.
And the first phrase is one that Pat brought to the table, which is riding dirty.
Yeah.
And you always described.
I always thought riding dirty just meant riding with a chip on your shoulder. I had no clue that it meant riding with a weapon.
With a weapon.
Or gun.
And I think, and a lot of people, it's kind of interesting, a lot of people have different definitions for what it means.
Well, we all grew up on different streets. So
right?
Dirty might have meant a weapon on your street, maybe a knife on mine, maybe just up grumpy on in your circle.
Check Urban Dictionary. Always start there. That's right.
It's not my default. I could answer a lot of my questions just by going there, but I just never.
It's more fun to make up your own definition, right?
Yeah, it is.
Some of them that came in, though, one of them, Carmen, she said she gasped when she heard you say that Bennett was riding dirty for the same reason that I did.
Because it's...
Yes, I'm like, because you said it in one episode a couple, 3 times, and then we addressed it a couple episodes later about, at least what I thought it meant is that you were armed, illegally, more than likely. But it even goes into more detail. Lee said... Lee and Michelle said, I thought riding dirty was when you had any illegal substance or item
in
the car with you.
That makes sense.
Haven't listened to everything yet, but noticed the other day Pat said he was riding dirty with someone. I forgot who, but I gasped. She's another gasper right there. And she said she and her husband use the term riding dirty when they don't get their plates renewed in time.
That's totally riding dirty. That's called riding ballsy. Because if you've never tried to elude a cop without running from them by ducking into a parking lot, because if they get behind you, they're going to see that you're, in her case, riding dirty with out of date
expired plates.
You're
Isn't
that
it
anxiety.
Funny, though? It's so funny is that you don't notice the police until your plates are expired.
Right.
And I imagine for real bad guys, I'm sure that when you're riding dirty, that's when you notice the police, and they're everywhere.
All the time.
Never see them otherwise, in my mind, but that's because you're not even...
You're just not paying attention.
You're not tuned into that at all. So you don't even think about it. But the minute that those are expired, or that your driver's license is expired.
Yes.
Because that's the day I'm going to get stopped for something.
Yes. Or if you do see a police officer and there is a potential that they could see your tags, right? You sing, or you're doing something in the car to make it, in my mind,
make them look at you,
or to make them think that you're not nervous.
You're
Like, oh, there's nothing. He's just doing normal stuff. Don't look at his tags. I don't know why that doesn't make any sense at all, but it's how I do it.
Do you pretend to be doing something?
Yeah. Well, I don't pretend to be doing something, but I do what I'm doing to a greater degree. I'll sing. I'll look focused, like I'm listening.
Are you wave at them?
Hey, what's up? How's it going? Hey. God bless you.
Look up here. Don't look at the up here.
Up here. Hey.
Eyes
Hey.
up here.
Up here. Up here.
And then they stop you for driving reckless.
Right. For running into the car in front of me. Screwing around.
Exactly right. Another one was from Darcy. She says, or when you don't have insurance.
Oh, yeah.
Would be another one as well.
So basically, dirty just could be anything you're doing wrong, whether it's
illegally,
weed, weapons, no insurance. It's just...
It sounds like, yeah.
It's being a bad...
Don't have a
one.
definitive. You didn't post that the other day either.
What didn't I post?
You're going to post to the police and ask
Oh,
them.
that's right. I didn't.
You need to do that.
I'll still do that today.
You need to do that. And another one that you threw out the other day, and I haven't had a chance to really delve into this, so maybe somebody else can clear this one up, just like Red and Dirty.
Right.
When you throw out, and I've said this before, and it is probably something like my grandma or my dad has said, dollars to donuts.
Yeah, what does that mean? Somebody on that was helping me with my sprinkler the other day on the phone said, dollars to donuts, this is the problem.
Dollars to donuts. And we've got another phrase coming up too, take a powder. Heard our good friend Scott Voorhees discussing.
Which I've never heard of take a powder.
I've heard of that. And often. I honestly, because he hadn't heard of it before. And he was, what does that even mean?
Right.
He was like, what does that even mean? So I've never heard that before. And apparently Gary had said that. Gary Settlemeyer had said it in conversation to him. And he says he's learned over the years that when Gary throws out one of those sayings, you don't look at him funny. Like, what does that mean? Because then he'll look at you like, what? Were you born under a rock?
Right.
Don't you know anything? And he says, so I just shut up and shake my head and agree with him. First, we'll go with this one, though. The dollars to donuts. There's a lot of them. Dollars to buttons. Dollars to cobwebs.
What?
Buttons and cobwebs were chosen for their obvious lack of value. Dollars to donuts. American phrase. Kind of a betting term.
Okay, so that dollars to, so I'll put my dollars to your donuts or something like that.
Maybe. Pleasant sounding way, I guess, like of short odds. That it's like 100%. Dollars to donuts because the donuts are not worth anything.
Okay.
Maybe.
What's is a lie?
So dollars to donuts. If you want to throw that one out there.
Okay.
That one's that's a good one. So take a powder. This one's kind of funny because I really couldn't find anything.
I can't believe you've heard this before. Like you've heard of.
I've heard of take a powder. Take a powder to me, the way I imagine it is like in gangster movies or old like 30s or 40s type gangster movies where someone took a powder, and usually it meant, in my mind, because I never really had to think about this before.
Right.
Like what to take a powder, I just assumed meant he snuck out. Or he disappeared on us. He absconded. He left. Wanted to avoid either a bad situation or avoid responsibility, or was a coward.
So it's like ghosted. It's an older term for
there you go.
Term ghosted.
Exactly. That's exactly how I would go with that. Take a powder. But they just disappeared. So
how have I never heard that term? I've never in my entire life heard that term before. Anything, ever. How's that possible?
I don't know how that's possible because I would imagine your dad said it a couple times.
I don't know. I'll have to ask him.
Take a powder.
I don't think so.
So the reason, and so I get to looking around for it, and I came up with all kinds of stuff, but no definitive meaning for take a powder or where it came from. There are a couple of ideas. One is the powder room. You go powder your nose, kind of thing. You kind of evade. Whatever, I'm going to go powder my nose.
Okay.
Which is also another term for I got to go pee.
Yeah.
I got to go powder my nose. That's what a nice person.
You mean, who powders their nose anymore? You just go pee.
I don't think they do. Another one, taking a powder medically in the 30s. Because this came back, they say it first showed up like the early 1900s. And when it really got more popular was in the 20s and 30s. And taking a powder would mean like a medication. It's like aspirin. And stuff came in a powder form. I mean, you still can take powders. They've got different powders that you can take. They're little tubes of them, just rip it open, and it's real fast acting. I know a lot of people that like those for hangovers.
Oh, yeah.
That's where I learned about because they're fast acting. So take a powder. That could be another one. But another definition, which is kind of hilarious, it goes back to Mickey Finn was kind of in the gangster area, bar owner, and somewhat notorious, I guess. I mean, you've heard of the bar Mickey Finn's.
Yeah, Mickey
right?
Finn's bar, yeah.
Apparently was a real person. But Mickey Finn was notorious for sometimes dosing somebody, an unruly patron, in his bar, and take a powder, and he would use a medication that he could put in their drink that was like a very powerful laxative.
Oh.
And so they would have to leave promptly. Like after they ingested it, it wouldn't take long.
That's interesting.
And that was a way to break up the fight or break up what was going on.
Or get them out if they're being a jerk. Just get them out of
somebody's
there.
just being a jerk, right?
Yeah.
And so the bar owner would basically dose them and give him this, and it's a laxative.
What?
And so, to give him. So, well, you know what's crazy is another one that they had also that under this Mickey Finn, that he would give them kind of like a roofie. It would render him unconscious if it was somebody who was, a jerk again, that they couldn't get out of the building, or they couldn't get they were having
So knock
troubles.
them out and then drag them out.
Yeah, exactly. That's rough,
Wow.
man. That's before bouncers, I guess. I don't know.
Jeez.
So give him a Mickey, slip him a Mickey.
Slip him a Mickey. That's where that came from?
Slip him a Mickey. That's where that came
What?
from. So now I'm answering all kinds of questions here. I was like, I'm just looking
Jeez.
for taking a powder, and I figured out slip him a Mickey. But then that leads me to not a good name for a bar.
No. If you really know that, if you know the actual
If that's the
where
truth,
that came from.
if this is all true, the internet doesn't lie. It was on the internet.
Yeah, it's true.
I love that commercial, by the way. I missed that. Anyway, it's on the internet. It has to be true.
It has to be true.
But if that's the truth, horrible name.
That is a bad name for,
Mickey
terrible.
Finn's used to be up, on 120th and Maple area.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever
remember
been there.
I went
but
there.
I remember where it was.
That was where I had to meet up for a St. Patrick's Day bus. We all met at Mickey Finn's.
Oh,
early
for
on
a
St.
pub
Patrick's.
crawl?
Well, kind of, yeah. St. Patrick's Day, we met there early in the morning.
Yeah.
And then everybody climbed on the bus from there. And they had breakfast and mimosas or whatever it was that
man.
morning, whatever green beer or whatever you're going to have. I met there once, yeah. And it's near my veterinarian's office. And right behind there, but it's gone. It's been gone for a long time.
That is crazy that's what.
So now we
Mickey.
know, basically, take a powder. There's no definitive definition.
Okay.
There are a lot of possibilities, but nobody knows for sure. I like the medicinal
I think
one.
because take a powder and like as ghosting to me doesn't make sense. Like take a powder like the medicine.
Take a powder.
Yeah.
But it does mean to disappear, to shirk responsibility, or as a coward.
And maybe
He took a powder.
maybe take a powder also for the disappear part of the gangster side of it. Take a powder, you take medicine, and you die. You're done.
That was it. That's the thing, is that in some of the gangster movies where somebody was, I can just see it or hear it in my head. The old movies, because I like watching those old dumb black and white movies. But you have that gangster movie and they're looking for so and so, and he took a powder. It's like he's dead. In my mind, he's dead.
So he's dead. So maybe he took a powder and just he that's it.
Cut out. He's.
With the
I don't
fishes.
know. I don't know with the fishes. Yeah. So anyway, thanks for that, Scott
See,
Voorhees.
if it wasn't for my right and dirty, we wouldn't have gone down that rabbit hole. If Scott didn't know, just like I hadn't heard of take a powder, you wouldn't have gone down that rabbit hole.
Take a powder.
Wouldn't learned about Mickey Finn's.
Mickey Finn, slip him a Mickey, and riding dirty.
Yeah.
So there you go. Urban Dictionary Monday.
If I'm gonna have a bar, I'm gonna name it Riding Dirty.
Riding dirty.
I'm going down to Dirties. I don't know about that.
Nobody will believe you.
What bar do you own? Riding Dirty?
No, you
you
don't.
don't.
No, you don't.
No, you don't at all.
You don't know what that means. That's not how any of this works. That's not how any of this works. Riding dirty. So anyway, as we head into, I guess July, we're getting into the middle part of July, getting just around the corner. Kids going back to school. Football's not that far away. Excited about that.
I can't wait.
I can't wait either. I know. I'm really excited about the new year. And
I love
the
that.
new season.
It's on our Facebook page, but the picture that the Huskers put on, I saw it on Instagram and on Facebook of on the 4th of July.
Yes.
That picture, and it's still on our Facebook page. It's Pat and JT if you haven't seen it. It gave me goosies.
It's it's a depiction of a Husker football player draped in the flag.
And like fireworks. It's just a beautiful picture.
It really is. It really is. And I know some people have a problem with that too, when people are draped in the flag kind of thing.
Yeah. As long as it's not touching the ground,
I know. And it's not clothing, but they did have it wrapped around them.
Yeah.
There was all the discussion about whether or not you can have the flag as clothing, because you see those all the time, T-shirts and everything else.
Yeah.
And some people are real sensitive to that, because it used to be you couldn't make money. I think it was
Oh, really?
merchandise from the flag. But I think it was they meant it to be the actual flag itself, like using a flag to make something. But that's been loosened up significantly in the past, so that people can do that. Because I think, but draping in the flag, it just does. It looks good.
Yeah, it's very cool.
I'm ready for it.
Yeah.
Definitely. All right, so
we're riding dirty into the week.
Here we go.
Thanks for your post on our facebook.com/PattonJT /it's PattonJT. You can go there. Everything we talk about. Also on YouTube, you find our podcast on YouTube.
Yeah.
A lot of people listen on YouTube while they're hanging around the house. So it's Pat and JT on YouTube as well. They're all there. You can just go and check them out.
A lot of different ways.
Yeah, we love it. So thank you guys. 402-403-9478 is our voicemail. Thanks for listening, rating, reviewing, subscribing, enjoying all that stuff.
Throw a phrase at us too. We'll see if we can dig.
Yeah.
We'll dig it up. We'll see what we can find for you.
Throw a phrase at us.
Pat and JT Podcast. A Parkville Media Production.